A historic winter storm swept through the southern United States, leaving a trail of snow, extreme temperatures, and chaos in regions where such cold and snowfall are virtually unknown. This climatic event, deemed a once-in-a-generation storm, broke historical records in several states including Florida, Texas, Louisiana, and Alabama, marking a milestone in the meteorological records of the last 140 years. The storm's impact began to be felt earlier in the week when a mass of Arctic air descended from the Yukon, Canada, to the Gulf of Mexico. This phenomenon, combined with high humidity levels in the region, created the perfect conditions for snowfall in states that rarely experience freezing temperatures. According to the National Weather Service, this combination of extreme polar air and humidity was key to the development of an unprecedented winter storm in the southeastern United States. Florida, known for its warm climate and sunny beaches, was one of the hardest-hit states. The city of Milton, in the Panhandle, recorded a historic snowfall of 22.3 centimeters, 8.8 inches, surpassing the previous record of 10.2 centimeters, 4 inches, set in 1954. Other cities like Pensacola, Tallahassee, and Jacksonville were also blanketed with snow, with accumulations ranging from 5 to 20 centimeters, 2 to 8 inches. The snowfall surprised residents, who lacked the infrastructure to deal with winter conditions, such as snowplows or adequate heating systems. The storm was not confined to Florida. Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas also faced record snowfalls. In New Orleans, the accumulation reached 25 centimeters, 10 inches, far exceeding the previous record of 6.8 centimeters, 2.7 inches, set in 1963. In Mobile, Alabama, the snow reached 13.7 centimeters, 5.4 inches, breaking a record of more than a century. Meanwhile, in Houston, Texas, snowfall reached up to 10 centimeters, 4 inches, and other areas of the state, such as La Porte and Pine Forest, recorded accumulations of 15.2 centimeters, 6 inches. The impact on infrastructure was devastating. Airports like those in Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Houston, and New Orleans suspended all flights, leaving thousands of passengers stranded. More than 2,300 flights were canceled nationwide due to the storm. Interstate 10, a key highway corridor, was blocked over a 112-kilometer, 70-mile stretch between Pensacola and the Alabama border due to snow and ice accumulation. Local and state authorities declared a state of emergency in multiple states. In Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis mobilized emergency teams to clear roads and assist those affected. In Texas, more than 20 snowplows worked on 12,000 miles of lanes in the Houston area, a region that lacks such equipment. Temperatures reached alarmingly low levels. In New Orleans, the thermometer dropped to minus 16 degrees Celsius, 3 degrees Fahrenheit, the lowest temperature recorded since 1893. In northern Florida, lows reached minus 5 degrees Celsius, 23 degrees Fahrenheit, and in other southern areas, wind chills dropped even further. The extreme cold claimed lives. At least 9 people lost their lives due to hypothermia or storm-related accidents. Despite the adversity, the storm left unusual and, in some cases, moving scenes. In New Orleans, people improvised urban skiing on Bourbon Street, while in Gulf Shores, Alabama, a snowball fight was organized on the beach. In Houston, residents used pool tubes to slide down snow-covered hills. The snowfall reached historic levels in Florida, surprising both residents and authorities. The city of Milton, located in the Panhandle, recorded 22 centimeters, 8.8 inches, of snow. This phenomenon left Florida under a white landscape, something completely unusual for a state where temperatures rarely drop enough to allow snow accumulation. Cities like Tallahassee, Pensacola, and Jacksonville were covered by layers of snow that ranged between 5 and 20 centimeters, 2 to 8 inches. Images of these areas, which normally enjoy mild climates even in winter, generated amazement and highlighted the region's vulnerability to extreme weather conditions. In Louisiana, the impact was also significant, with New Orleans recording a record accumulation of 25 centimeters, 10 inches, of snow, far surpassing the previous record of 6.8 centimeters, 2.7 inches, from 1963. This unusual white blanket in the French Quarter and other iconic areas of the city created an impressive visual contrast and caused significant disruptions. The low temperatures, which reached historic lows of -16 degrees Celsius, 3 degrees Fahrenheit, aggravated the difficulties for residents who are not accustomed to facing such severe climates. Despite the challenges, many residents found ways to enjoy this rare opportunity to experience snow. In Florida, beaches transformed into winter landscapes where people improvised activities like snowball fights and sliding with pool tubes. In Louisiana, similar scenes unfolded in parks and neighborhoods where families took advantage of the unusual phenomenon to create unique memories. The southern United States is facing an unprecedented climatic event due to a winter storm that has generated historic snowfalls and extreme temperatures. This storm, cataloged as one of the most unusual in recent history, has left its mark from Texas to Virginia, with significant impacts in cities like Houston, New Orleans, and Baton Rouge. In Texas, the situation is particularly critical. In Houston, snow and ice paralyzed operations at the city's main airports, George Bush Intercontinental and Hobby. Although they are expected to resume activities soon, local police urged residents to avoid roads and take extreme precautions. New Orleans, known for its warm and humid climate, has also experienced an extraordinary meteorological event. The city recorded a snowfall that broke historical records, reaching more than 12.5 centimeters, 5 inches, of snow, surpassing the 6.8 centimeters, 2.7 inches, recorded in 1963. Images of residents enjoying the snow are unusual, from attempts at urban skiing on Bourbon Street to snowball fights in front of churches. On the snow-covered levees of the Mississippi River, activities as diverse as snowboarding and kayaking could be observed. Extreme cold has enveloped wide areas of the country, with temperatures up to 30 degrees below average. In Omaha, Nebraska, the wind chill reached -29 degrees Fahrenheit, -34 degrees Celsius, while in New York, the maximum temperature was just 19 degrees Fahrenheit, -7 degrees Celsius, well below normal values for January. In northern Florida, temperatures are expected to drop to -5 degrees Celsius, 23 degrees Fahrenheit, with significant risks of ice on the roads. The origin of this storm lies in a polar vortex that has allowed cold Arctic air to descend to lower latitudes. This phenomenon has caused wind chills of up to -12 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Fahrenheit, in parts of Texas, while in New Orleans, temperatures dropped to -16 degrees Celsius, 3 degrees Fahrenheit, the lowest recorded since 1893. The combination of extreme polar air and Gulf humidity has generated a cycle of thawing and refreezing that is expected to continue through the weekend, increasing the risk of accidents and power outages.